Cloudcover is your trusted source for managed IT, hosted voice, and cloud solutions. In today's world, IT is an essential part of business, no matter if you visit with patients or perform lawn maintenance. All companies need some sort of technology to effectively communicate with their clients, process requests, keep accurate records, send invoices, pay bills, the list goes on. Whatever industry you are in, Cloudcover can help, whether you have your own IT staff or not. Cloudcover has solutions that cover businesses of all shapes and sizes. When IT breaks down, it can be costly. Let Cloudcover build your most robust, reliable, mobile, and secure platform that will keep your business running smoothly and securely while providing the flexibility of working anywhere. Give us a call at 225-755-9422 or visit us on the web at cloudcover.com. That's spelled CLOWDCOVER.com. Cloudcover, CLOWDCOVER.com, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
With combined decades of experience, the staff at Rockstar Buildings will make your next metal building purchase quick and easy. Specializing in all types of metal buildings, from carports to garages to barns and more, Rockstar Buildings wants to be your go-to source for all your metal building needs. Priding themselves on experience, reliability, quality products, and stellar customer service has made Rockstar Buildings our choice for our metal building needs, and we could not be more pleased with the workmanship, service after the sale, and of course, the hustle of everyone at Rockstar Buildings. Y'all, let me tell you about the hustle of Rockstar Metal Buildings. I personally use Rockstar Metal Buildings to build a 60 by 40 shop in my house, and I could not be more pleased with the quality of product and service that they provided to me. They were awesome from start to finish. Give them a call or visit them on the web at rockstarbuildings.com to see the many examples of what Rockstar Buildings can do for you. Rockstar Buildings, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
Rogue Record.
What's up, everybody? You listen to Hustle Makes It Happen, a podcast about the grit, determination, and the mindset it takes to become a winner. Success is not an accident. It lives outside your comfort zone, in the trenches, where excuses are met by brick walls. So strap in, tighten up, and let's get ready to hustle. What's happening, hustlers? Welcome to another episode of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
I got Justin here today, and Garrison is noticeably missing.
Yeah,
and
it's all right.
We have our esteemed guest, Miss Ashley Davis. What's happening?
What's happening?
So before we break off into this show today, we would like to say...
It's season 2. Leave a review. That's the thing in this season.
Season 2.
You almost
Leave
forgot
a
about that.
review. I like it.
Season 2, leave a review, guys. Look, it helps. Jim tells us that that's the thing that we got to have to get Apple to start throwing us up in the algorithm world. I don't know how it works, but he does. And he says leaving a review is the way to do it. So if you got a second, click over on Apple Podcast, drop us a 5-star review, tell us what you love about the show. It really helps us out. That's it. That's the plug. Let's move forward.
Yeah, let's get it. So today we have somebody that if you are a fan of our show, and you're listening, you hit play for us each week, Rockstar Buildings. And Miss Ashley Davis is the owner, proprietor of that business. So you've seen her plug those commercials. So she's a fan of our show, just like we're a fan of her. And if you don't know what Rockstar Buildings are, you can come by Justin's house. He's got a badass shop you can come check out. So anyways, now you're here.
Yeah.
You're in studio now, so you're on the other side of it.
Yeah. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we want to dig in between the ears and talk about life and how you got here and some of the things that have kind of catapulted you to where you're at today. Right?
Look, I want to tell you too, like I looked for metal buildings for a long time before I reached out to you guys to build a shop in my house. There's a ton of metal buildings, like metal building companies out there, but I can tell you from my own personal experience that like you guys jumped out at me. Like I don't know what you did like a year ago, but you completely took over the social media world as far as like metal building contractors are concerned, because your ads were the only ones that I was seeing. Yeah. So whatever you did, it totally paid off. And we tell our guests all the time, like our sponsors, we didn't just go after people with dollars to come sponsor the show, right? We wanted people that were hustlers. And after getting to know you and Kurt, and then seeing the work that y'all did, and then getting to know more about you over the last couple of months or last year or so while we were in this process, like there was no doubt in my mind that you and him both are just absolute like workaholic hustlers. You know what I mean? And you took a business that there's a ton of, and you've like really captured that market. And I know that was not by accident. So that's what we want to talk about, is how like the mindset and the thought process and the daily grind that you got to go through every single day to take over such a saturated market.
My goal was to meet people and build relationships, and then my sales would follow. And I wanted to dedicate my time to the customers, even if I drive to their house or talk to them on the phone, whatever I had to do to build that relationship. I don't really do a whole lot of advertising anymore. It's all word of mouth. And the feedback that I get is just remarkable. It makes me feel great that I'm doing what I love, and I'm leaving a good impact, apparently, because here I am,
That's right.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like it. I like to start, taking something so simple as a carport or getting, a 40 by 60 shop, big or small.
Yeah.
I want to do it all. I don't care.
That's right.
Were you always this way? Because like I can attest, like my younger days in life, I wasn't always as gritty, grinding type of person I am now. I've actually grown into that person. And I like to ask that to some of our guests, like, because some have come into their own later in life. Some have had it from day one. So I don't know.
So I've always had it in me. I grew up poor. We didn't have very much. So I'm very grateful for the things I have now. As a child, I remember wanting things that my parents couldn't afford. And, I would do extra things and work and babysit and, just things that was getting money in my pocket. With that being said, as soon as I got out of school, I got a side job, and then I started there, and I actually worked there for 16 years. And I started there scrubbing toilets, and then got into sales. And I just knew every day of my life I could be better than what I was, and continue to grow. And now, when I lay my head down at night, I know I'm better than I once was, but like I'm still growing. And
that's right.
Here I am. I really, really am grateful. I feel as if this is really God's work. I'm just the person that's doing it for him,
That's right.
I give him all the praise for it, because if it wouldn't be for God allowing me to do this, and it wouldn't be successful at all.
So I love it. We actually had a little group message between me, Justin, and his wife, and I think my wife sent it too, but we talked about just very recently that our last 4 guests have paid it up to the man above and talked about their faith. And
yeah, that's not an accident.
No,
you know what I mean?
Funny
because
it's
not a coincidence.
So now we're on episode 5, and we, this isn't pre-recorded or we don't go over anything. This room is very organic, and you just said that on your own. So now we're on the 5th episode.
Yeah, this will be the 5th episode in a row.
So I love hearing that. Did you have any? So we know that your faith plays a good basis of why you feel and you drive the way that you do. So any influences when you were young? Mom, aunts, uncles, grandpas? I mean, did they ever?
No, I'll be completely honest. I kind of grew up with a broken home. My dad gave me up when I was younger. And that kind of was just like, all right, I got to do something in life because I can't stay in that rabbit hole, So I always aimed to make them proud, even though like he wasn't there, but I wanted to make him proud. So after, I'm 34 now, rekindling our relationship, we talk about metal buildings, and, like I got him a cool jacket, says Rockstar on it. Like it, even though I didn't have anybody as a child growing up that was like pushing me and motivating me. It's kind of like I motivated myself just so I could make them proud, if that makes sense.
I get it.
Look, those are two really, both of the things that you've talked about so far are two like very, very powerful driving forces. And I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper into this. So you had kind of a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, growing up poor is tough for anybody.
Yeah. We shopped at, thrift stores and.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it is what it is. And, we got maybe a few presents and we were grateful for what we had. I don't think we ever really had normal birthday parties. But I have 2 kids and 2 beautiful stepkids. I want them to be grateful for the things they have and not take advantage of things that I can give them just because, I'm a hustler. I make decent money. Gimme. I want them to work hard and I want to instill that in them,
It's the worth. You still. I get it all the time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's a struggle. I think for anybody that's relatively successful, especially somebody that came from really nothing. Because where I was going with my point just now, like we're going right into it, is that you grew up, disadvantaged. You grew up poor, and the things that you wanted, there was no other way to get them than to go work for it. You know what I mean? And that's such a valuable lesson for anybody, especially for children. I think I started working whenever I was 15 just because there were, I was always that kid that my dad used to tell me that I had champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yeah.
And I think that's still accurate. You know what I mean? Like there are things in life that I want.
Right.
I want a nice house. I want a nice truck. I want a boat. Like I want all these things. But I figured out whenever I was in my teenage years that the only way to have those things is to go work for them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're not going to be given to you.
That's right. And that's exactly what you're trying to do with your kids and with your stepkids is to teach them that lesson, the same lesson that you learned. But at the same time, like they're your kids. You know what I mean? Like I got a 2-year-old son. I don't want him to want for anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a really challenging thing as a parent, really, is to kind of flirt that line between teaching your kids how to hustle and how to grind and how to be successful. Like what are the recipes that lead up to success?
Right.
But at the same time, like taking care of them and giving them things that you've never had growing up. Like it's an emotional thing and a logical thing kind of all compiled together.
Yeah. I want them to experience the stuff that, like I said, that I didn't. But then again, I want them to work for it and hustle and start young and aim for, set a goal, and meet it. When you meet it, that's great. Do
you find, because I find it to be hard to flirt on both sides of that line. It's like a gray area of putting characteristics and helping build your foundation for your kids to be hardworking, but you're also on the other side of it trying to spoil them because it's some of the things you never got, right? So it's this.
It's tough, man.
It's rough.
It's this tug and pull and push of something that you that you didn't have those things. I'll say right now, I mean, it doesn't matter, but the reason why I'll say I'm very selfless with my kids. I'm very driven. They make me wake up in the morning, and as cliche as it sounds, like I put a lot into my kids, and I'm a good dad because I didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's point blank. I am a good dad because someone chose not to be my dad.
Yeah.
And I never wanted them to feel that.
Yeah. I mean, that I couldn't allow, my father's mistake to haunt me for the rest of my life. With that being said, it just, man, it put something in my soul that wasn't going to stop me.
Nick Torito at Area Home Lending, Louisiana's top choice for mortgages. If you're looking to buy, build, or refinance, they have you covered. Don't get fooled by one of those online or out-of-state banks. Nick and Area Home Lending are Louisiana-based and lend in all of Louisiana. From Lake Charles to Lafayette or all of Baton Rouge to New Orleans. If it's in the state, Nick and his team are local experts and ready to help. Your home is one of the biggest decisions and investments you will make in your life. With trust, commitment, and care, Nick will walk you through the process, step by step, making the hardest decision easy and ensuring the process is as simple and painless as possible. And with Nick, you'll find out that you're not only just another transaction or number on the list. He's invested in you and you become family with his goal to create a relationship that will always be there. Area Home Lending has access to the best loan programs too, and with the lowest rate and fees, all while delivering exceptional customer service. Please give him a call today at 225-663-2500 or visit him on the web at www.areahomelending.com. I guarantee you, he will take great care of you. Nick Torito and Area Home Lending, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. So you've been busy.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, that's a lot.
But
Like a building and a half a day.
yeah. But I know every one of my customers by name, and I can call them right now and have a conversation. I follow up with them. Like, we build relationships, and that's what it's about. You know, like, we actually put a carport up for a gentleman, and I'm sorry, a RV cover, and we camp right next to him. Like, we built that relationship and had no idea that we camp in the same spot, you know.
You know what you're doing, though, right? Yeah. You're chasing fulfillment instead of monetary success.
Yeah.
And that is powerful all on its own. Because fulfillment is the end journey, right? It's what you want, fulfillment inside.
Yeah.
And if you're chasing success, there's nothing more depressing than seeing a successful person who's not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, that statement should ring true through the airwaves. When someone is successful and they're miserable and you could see it and feel it, you almost feel sorry for them.
Right.
But
I just remain humble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just want to wake up every day and be grateful that I'm here and that I'm able to do what I love, and share it with everybody. You know, like, I think I talk about building so much, the kids are like, can we talk about something else? And about 5 minutes later, I'm back talking about buildings again, and they're like, oh, you know, so, but I love it. And I feel like if you do what you love, you really don't work a day in your life, right? Because you enjoy what you're doing, you know.
I want to back up a little bit and talk about, you said, you know, some of the things that you went through and some of the experiences that you had, like, put a fire in you. And then you talked about not wanting to do things out of spite. So I want to talk about that. I want to kind of dig into that a little bit. Yeah. So that's it. I think it's a very challenging thing to do, because I've experienced some of this. You know what I mean? It's very challenging to have some experiences and then not, you know, go out and keep a clear mind and keep focused on what you're trying to do. So for us, or at least for me, I don't want to speak for Chase, but I think he probably agrees. But for me, like, the fulfillment is in what we're building. You know what I mean? It's not in, like, the money is awesome. Whenever we started our business, it's so funny because whenever we started our land development business, we literally started it and, like, we were like, yeah, man, we can sell some property and then we can buy some new trucks. You know what I mean? And then we can buy some side-by-sides. Like, it was just about money, right? But
I remember
now,
getting my first check from a customer, and it was like a $300 check, and I was like so excited. I'm like, yes! And now it's like, I still remember my first customer and that check. And
you remember the feeling.
Yes.
That's what you remember.
It was $300, and I was so excited that I got a $300 check. Like, I took that to heart. So it doesn't matter if it's a $3,000 check or a $300 check or
a $30,000 check.
Or a $30,000.
Right.
I love it. And I love the feeling of it. And I love just being able to do what I love.
But that's now, chasing the fulfillment side of life.
Yeah, but now it's like, for me, that's where I was going with that. Was like, now for me, it's about, okay, we set that first goal, made that first sale, we got that, right? We got the money, that was cool, we spent it, blew it, right?
Yeah,
done. And then we go do it again, and we blow that. Yeah. But after a while, like, you start getting a lot of the stuff you want, but then, like, you've seen some success. And if you're a person like you are, and a person like we are, and a person like the folks that listen to this show, like, once you get that first wave of success, if you have the right mindset, it seems like it automatically shifts away from the money and towards, let me see how far I can take this thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I said, we said we were going to do something. We did it. We accomplished that goal. Yeah. Instead of just, rinse and repeat and do the same thing over and over again, folks like us and folks like the people that listen to the show, we think differently. You know what I mean? We say, like, the little, what am I trying to say? Like, the little milestones of sales or whatever is awesome. But we want to see, what else can we do? What can we do next? Like, how can we grow this thing, and how far can we go?
I want to be bigger. But when I say I want to be bigger, like, I want to be bigger and sell more, but I don't ever want to lose focus of where I came from.
Yeah, well, it's just about what are you capable of?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think that's what I was getting at. You want to find out what is your limit? You know what I mean? How much further can I go in, like, what else can I handle? What else can I?
I don't ever want to get to the point where I have people taking care of my customers, because I take pride in that.
Yeah.
And I like that connection with them. And it's special to me because my dream was to open my own business and be successful. I was told that I was never going to be able to do that. I would always work for someone else. And of course, anybody that knows me, I'm headstrong. Don't tell me I can't do it, because I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it right. Going back to not being spiteful. I don't want to do anything that's going to harm other people. In this industry, we have so many, and we have locals. I mean, literally, you can go down the road and there's dealers every 5 miles. I'm not going to sit here and bash them to get a sale, because at the end of the day, that customer's coming to me and they want to build a relationship with me, and I want that with them. And if I put down on someone or judge their character, it's showing my character, and I want to always remain positive and do the right thing and build that relationship. And I keep saying build the relationship, because that's where it started at for me, building relationships.
So with talking about your mindset and what's drove you to where you're at today, with that has come failures, right? I mean, that's in every industry. Give me an example, just how of a failure that you've experienced in your job or in your career at some point, and get that moment, and then how you overcame it.
All right. Well, it's kind of funny, but it's not real funny. I accidentally labeled some metal samples wrong and basically sheeted a whole building the wrong color, and discovered it after the job was complete. But we made it right, and I paid out of pocket to redo his building. So that was a little boo-boo on my end. So I'm not perfect. I make mistakes.
Right.
As simple as, labeling something wrong. But I owned it, and it's okay. I'm human. I make mistakes. He knew I was going to make it right, and I did.
He probably referred you after that too.
He absolutely.
Well, I think what's important there, at least in your business, really in business in general, not just I don't think it's exclusive to your business, but we had an incident a couple of months ago in our business where something just didn't go the way we had it planned, and it ended up costing us some money. But the thing was, exactly like you did, is we just owned it. Like, hey, look, a mistake was made, okay? Yeah. And I think we were on the verge of a lawsuit.
Right.
And we were able to, stay humble, bring that human element back, go talk to the person.
Yeah, just own it.
Yeah. Go talk to the customer, talk to the client, say, look, we made a mistake. Things happen. How can we make it right?
Right.
I've
learned in this industry, if I don't know something, it's okay to tell them I don't know, but I'll find out, or let me research that.
People have such a hard time with that.
Yeah. And that was something that I had a hard time with, because I don't like to be wrong, or I like to have a quick answer, but having a quick answer is not always the right answer. And I had to learn that. It's okay to take a moment, make sure you're getting your information correct, and you're giving it to the customer correct, because you never want to mislead them and misguide them. And then, of course, you're going to have a boo-boo, and I don't want to have that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a little bit of a loaded question, okay? There are people in life that see people that are successful, and they assume that they're arrogant or they're cocky, but really, like, these people are just very confident in their abilities, right? They know that they're goal-oriented and that they're driven, and they focus on that, but people may seem to think that they're cocky or they're arrogant or whatever. How do you deal with that in your life?
Are you trying to say I'm arrogant?
I am not.
Are you trying to say I'm unapproachable?
I am not.
All right. Well, sometimes I do get judged, because I am a woman in a man's world. Sometimes men do not want to deal with me because they don't think I'm capable of doing the job because I'm a female. Or I get a female that doesn't want to deal with me because she kind of looks at me like I got a resting bitch face. And I don't. I am the most humble person that you can talk to, and I'm here to help you, but you got to give me a chance. And sometimes I feel like I'm judged before they get to know me, and maybe it's the way I dress because I always have something crazy on, or I'm just a different person. I'm just a different breed,
That flashy tattooed chick, I swear.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, rolling up in her dually. Like, what are you doing in life?
Yeah, I hop out and, I'm yay big. But it's me. It's who I am, and I do get judged a lot. And at first, I took offense to it, but it just really made me stronger because I had something to prove. Because you're judging me and you don't know me, but guess what? Here I am, and I'm super successful because all that bitterness didn't do nothing but light it up. And here I am burning the walls down.
Yeah.
I'm busting it wide open, and I love it.
I'm really glad you mentioned that too, because like that, I don't know. I've had people tell me before, like, we're having a conversation and I'll say something that's fact, like I'll just say, this is how it is. Like we started the business is doing well. You know what I mean? People don't want to hear, there's a lot of haters like in general, like at large that don't want to hear that. And like, it's for me personally, sometimes it's a challenge to, I always kind of feel like you got to tiptoe around people because they might,
Well, you kind of figure out who your friends are.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be your friend when the money's flowing, but when the hard times come, where are they at? When things are going south, who do you depend on? I depend on my spouse. He's there. He's my rock. Then again, that's why I build relationships with my customers because they're always there. I'm telling you, like if I need a friend to talk to, it may be one of my customers I sold a cover to last year. Who knows? I mean, I talk to them all.
I say it all the time. Relationships and connections are forever. Mm-hmm. Whether they end or they're temporary, you still had them. Money comes and goes and is in and is out.
Right.
And
hey, y'all, if you're in the market for a real estate attorney that can handle all your title work needs, all your closing needs, all your succession needs, whatever your needs are in the real estate industry, look no further than our friends Shay Landry and the group at Milestone Title. Y'all, we use these guys for our personal business, and they have never let us down. They've been on top of the game every time we've used them. So whatever it is that you're looking for in the real estate industry, as far as a closing attorney or title work is concerned, check out our friends over at Milestone Title. Milestone Title, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and I want to know what can I do to get bigger. And when I say get bigger, I want to dab into different things. I mean, I want to look into equipment, and I want to look into other things. I mean, I don't drive a dually for no reason, just to have. I want to be able to use it. I want to do things I don't want to talk about yet.
Yeah, I got you.
Hint, hint. But yeah, I have goals and I set them and I give myself, a limit. One fun fact about me is I set a amount every week, my goal. And if I'm $5 away from that goal, I'll beat myself up and I'll aim harder because I failed myself $5. But it's not about the money. It was my goal. So I always set those goals. And I mean, I hate that it sounds like it's about money because it's really not. But it's the little things that keeps me going.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago, I did 2 deals. I didn't make anything off of them. It was a blessing. I enjoyed blessing those 2 customers. When I got home, I had 4 phone calls from other customers that tripled what I just blessed.
Yeah, that's right.
So that is where it's all at, man.
we did it, not to, touch on that, but sometimes giving back, it makes you feel 10 times better than even personal business driven goals, whatever they be. We did something Sunday for our business that we had never stepped in before. And, we just, I'm not going to talk about exactly what it was, but we just gave back in the community. And that whole day I smiled until I went to bed.
Yeah.
Seeing, the impact that we had made just by a decision that me and him decided that, this is what we're going to do this Sunday.
Right. I think it kind of goes back to my childhood too, because I remember.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. It kind of like just connects.
Sure does.
Like it will always touch my heart, because it's like, I remember whenever people would bless us and it would light up my life. Like, and I still to this day say, may I bless you. Whether it be a police officer and I'm buying lunch for him, or if it's just carrying somebody's groceries, it's the little things, that just I love. And that's just me. And I think the more people get to know me, that's why my business is successful. And it's going to continue to be that way, because this is just who I am.
And you're going to stay grinded.
Dude.
Stay
every
grinded.
Day.
One of my son, we left Sunday from what we did in the community, and my son said, "Daddy, why did we do that?" And I said, "Well, Daddy and Mr. Justin worked real hard to be able to give back." And he said, "Did you see everybody smiling?"
Yeah.
And he's 6, so he put that together at a very young, immature age, and he could see how happy everybody was. And I don't know, just those little things. Your kids will grow up and they're going to remember those things. And hopefully he looks back and goes, "I'm proud of my dad."
Right.
For doing those types of things.
I mean, just makes you feel good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
For sure. And it's not, look, you touched on it a while ago, like you brought it up, and you're the 5th person in a row to bring it up. Like, everything comes from God. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all the success that we have is not our success. That's his success. Yes. Yeah. So by giving some of that back, like it's not even ours to keep.
Right,
you know what I mean? It was gifted to us. Mm-hmm. Through whatever means, like through your grind and your hustle, and through his grind and his hustle, and through the grind and hustle that I put in.
Right.
Like, we're working for it. We're trying our best to earn it, but without the blessing that came to us, like we wouldn't have jack. You know what I mean? It's
like doing just a little act of kindness can change somebody's life. You don't know what they're going through. I battled a really bad depression a couple months ago, super bad. Just one kind word that somebody said to me, like, changed that. It's like, just take that moment and just be humble.
Isn't it funny though when you're in those moments? Because look, I don't care how strong-minded you are, you all have moments of self-doubt. Right.
But look, that's it. You got to have that, right? You got to have that. You got to keep an eye on your business. And if you think things are going well, they're probably not. And if you think things are going terribly, then they're probably okay, right? You gotta trust the process.
I guess I'm gonna go with you on that one.
Look, that's just how I feel about it. There's been times where I thought like things were going really well, and then all of a sudden out of left field, just like things are going so well that you forgot to pay attention to something. You know what I mean?
Small details.
Yeah, so it's like kind of staying on your toes and thinking that things are going pretty bad sometimes is probably pretty healthy for a business.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so.
Yeah, look, we've tightened up things in our own business because we saw not things falling through the cracks, but like we said, we ran into a hurdle that cost us a little money. I mean, it wasn't life altering or business changing. It was just miscommunication on our part to someone else that caused trouble for someone that we had sold land to. And it was like, look, we got to take care of this. Yeah. And it's going to be on our dollar, and we're going to go back to our roots. We're going to fix it. But we tightened up after that. We were like, that miscommunication on things can't happen anymore.
But you making it right, they see that. They're going to recommend you, to others.
Yeah, it takes time for people to see that you had the right intentions all along. Yeah. But
as long as your intentions are pure, you're good, and I've learned that. I can go into details a lot when it comes to price matching or doing a little bit of this to get this job. No, this is my price. You're going to get what you pay for. I'm here to help you. At the end of the day, if something's wrong, you're going to call me. You're not going to call the manufacturer. If you're not happy with your building, you're going to call me. I'm going to deal with it. I'm not going to push you off. You're not going to talk to an assistant. You're not going to talk to a salesperson. You're going to talk to me, the owner. You're going to have my cell phone. You're going to, I want to make it right. And I think that's where I stand out. And then I'm different because I want them to come to me if they have any problems. I don't mind going out to their house to measure. A lot of people take that and they're just like, wow, you took the time to drive here to help me. And it can be something so simple.
That's right.
Dude, you did that in my house. Like whenever we were setting, you came to my house like 3 times because I was back and forth. I didn't know what I wanted.
He couldn't read the tape.
Do you see what I have to deal with?
Yeah, I couldn't make a decision. But what you said is so true because you're like, we were communicating over email and you were sending me pictures and you said, you know what? I'm on the way. Yeah. And just drove to the house and we sat down at the bar in the kitchen and you flipped open the laptop and you were like, all right, let's figure this out right now. Right. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just, that's what I enjoy. I don't want to be stuck in an office that I have 1,000 people around me and I'm losing focus on what matters. What matters is getting that customer what they want at the price they can afford. If they tell me this is their budget, I want to go under their budget. I want to make sure I accommodate them from the concrete all the way to the building. After that, we have a friendship, and I send a little goodie bags to them and hook them up with some good stuff. And
I think, listening to Ashley and where she's gotten, I would say attention to detail is the thing that's gotten her where she's at.
Yeah, but let's ask her, like, what do you think is the number one trait that you possess that leads you to the success that you've seen?
My drive, my hustle.
Just straight up grinding it out every day.
Every day.
That's
no matter what, rain or shine, I'm grinding, baby.
We talk about it. I mean, this is the name of the show, right? But we talk about it literally in every episode that we say it in the intro. Success is not an accident. Like you have to go out and you have to put your boots on the ground and go to work. You know what I mean? I
wear heels to my job.
Put your heels on the ground and go to work. I don't think there's any other way to do it. I don't know.
I tell people I close deals in heels.
Close deals and heels. That's the name of the episode. Closing deals and heels. That's it.
No, I love it. And it is true. If you don't, I was not born, and I don't think anybody now knowing your story too, and obviously I know Justin's, I didn't have a golden spoon in my mouth at any point in time in my life, ever.
Me either.
And I still don't have one now. But I am driving to my own self-fulfillment. And with that is my business and my kids and travel and memories. And I'm able to do that because I'm working hard, and all that is paying dividends into all those spider webs that I'm pushing out and into the world.
Yeah, I think it's just that constant grind of like working for the life that you want to build for yourself.
Right.
I don't know, man. I guess there's probably people in life that expect people to give them things.
Well, I mean, that happens every day. And it goes back to like our kids. It's so easy just to give them $100 to go do something.
Right.
But what are we teaching them? I want to go do something. Let me go get $100 from mom and dad. No, maybe you clean the kitchen or you clean your room or the bathroom. Like this is stuff that you can do, and it's little things. You earn your money. When I was a kid, I didn't have that. I remember driving a broke down bicycle that my chain fell off, and I would drive to this little local store and I would get a pickle and I would sit behind the counter, and that was my paycheck. He would give me a pickle, and I'll never forget it because it was me and my little cousin. We would go there and we would work, and we got a pickle. But I was so grateful because it was a pickle, and it was like...
Yeah, but you remember that.
But I remember that.
You remember.
You remember working for a pickle.
Oh, pickle.
You know what I mean?
And I was like a child driving my broke down bicycle that my chain fall off. It took me forever to get over there, but like I'll never forget that, and it's just the little things in life. Like I'm just a normal human that I just like to hustle.
Katie Benton Thompson is your local trusted realtor. Born and bred in real estate as a third-generation realtor, she deals with developments from lots and to houses. Katie was raised building the parish of Livingston. Her family roots have grown this parish for the last 30 years. This environment has educated Katie in all areas of real estate. I can tell you from personal experience, Katie Benton Thompson is a hustler in every way. She is constantly digging her heels in to give her clients the best buying or selling experience she can. Give Mandy Benton Realty Group a call and ask for Katie Benton Thompson at 225-953-0677.
How do you drown out noise? Like it must be nice people that don't see your work all the time. They just see the results of your work. How do you drown those?
They see
people?
that little tip outside the water, but everything below it is not seen.
Yeah. That used to be hard for me because I always wanted to fire back and say something. But now I just say, it is what it is, you know. I just smile and I don't even answer it. I don't entertain bullshit.
Yeah. You know what catches them off guard whenever you say it is. That's all it is. It must be nice. Yeah, it is. It's nice.
Work for it. You know, if you want it, work for it.
My new thing I've adopted is just let them be mad, let them be upset.
Yeah, go be mad over there.
You're not going to please everybody.
Let them be upset. Let them think what they want. Let them assume. Just let them. That's my new thing. Let them.
I mean, it is funny because I do, you know, get that all the time. Oh, it must be nice to drive that truck. And I'm like, you want to fill up the diesel? Yeah. Yeah, it's nice, but I worked for it.
Yeah, I sold 200 buildings in 180 days to get that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I worked for it.
Not an accident.
It's something I always wanted. I still remember my first car that literally leaked oil everywhere I went. But my goal was to have nice things in life. I didn't want things handed to me. I wanted to work for them. And now I'm proud to say I worked for everything I have.
It always means more when you work for it.
Dude, it means so much more.
I don't sleep. When I do sleep, my mind, I dream about buildings. I dream about money. I dream about what can I do next.
Always looking for the next avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's universal. I really do.
You know, and it's kind of hard to relate to some people that doesn't have hustle and they don't have that drive. It's like, what do we talk about? You know, like how it's a different circle. It's like you talk to someone and they don't understand you, or they talk to you and they're judging you because of your appearance and, you know, oh, your nails are done or this or that or your hair. And it's like, no, like I'm talking about like grind. Like I'm talking about what do you do for a living? Like
in my other career, I won't name them names, but you know, I have a hard time connecting with people there. And it's because
of that.
Yeah, the mind, the length between the brain waves is not. We don't meet. Like we don't.
Like you're talking a totally different language.
Yeah, like we could sit in a room
and it's boring as hell to just sit there and be like, oh yeah, okay.
Like,
that's cool.
there's 4 people in this room, 1 behind the camera, 3 in front, but we could all sit there and talk philosophy and life and work but it's this big picture, and I can't have those conversations because most of the people I hang out with in life, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about philosophy and mindsets and the hustle and the grind and what's next. What's on the plate for you? What are you going after in life?
Right.
Like we talk about that a lot. The people I'm around.
Yeah, I mean, I learned it's okay sometimes to be a loner.
Oh,
because
for sure.
That gives me time to think on my next move. Every day I'm thinking, what am I going to do tomorrow? What can I do to better myself and better my family? And I don't mean that to be arrogant, but that's just something I want to achieve, just different things. I don't want to talk about it on here because that's my dreams that I'm going to do and I'm going to shine. And when I do it, I'm going to bust the damn door wide open.
Yeah,
and it's coming.
It's okay to hustle in silence too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
because that look, when you get to that point, you know, there's things in the works for us too. And, you know, even people all sitting around in this room, there's little side things happening everywhere. We're trying to meet to this and get that, bring that to this level here. And then we got the next thing moving, but it's okay just to, like you said, wait until it's there and just kick it on open. And that's when everybody will know.
Yeah.
Dude, and I used to struggle with that too. So I used to want to tell everybody about everything. You know what I mean?
Did too. I was so excited. I wanted to tell everybody.
Well, yeah, it was because I was excited, and it's because I was like constantly seeking feedback from everybody. Like I wanted.
But you're gonna get nowhere with everybody else's feedback. You have to just do what you want to do. You can't do what everybody else wants to do.
There are probably 3 people, maybe 4 people in my like whole life now at this point that I talk to about what we're doing in our business. He's one of them. My wife is one of them.
Right.
There's like 2 other people, and they're both just like us, like just like all of us in this room. Like those, it's a buddy of mine that, you know, he's running a food truck, and he has a gunslinging business. You know, he's got his FFL, and he buys and sells custom guns. He teaches concealed carry classes, and he just bought a gym. You know what I mean?
That's epic.
So he's got all kind of things going, but he and I talk almost, probably almost every day, every other day.
Yeah.
But whenever we talk, we're talking about the moves he's making, the moves I'm making. You know what I mean?
Like, it's positive. It's uplifting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit down and talk to Debbie Downer about her financial issues. Well, what are you doing? You're laying in bed until 12 o'clock. Of course you're not going to get out of debt because you're not working. You're not hustling. You're not grinding. Like, what are you doing? Don't come to me, with poor mouthing, but you're laying there or you're in the bar spending your last dollar, but you can't pay your light bill.
Dude, it's so hard for us to have those conversations
just telling
with
it
people.
like it is.
It's so hard for us to have those conversations with people because they don't want to hear it.
No, they don't want to hear the truth.
So that's also why people think
that you're arrogant.
That you're an asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that question a while ago.
I know,
like,
and I just didn't want to bust it out.
But it's okay.
It's so
okay.
true, though.
It is true. When like you just said, you got somebody that comes to you and you're like, hey, man, I need help in this. And I'm like, what are you doing though?
Right. What are you doing to better yourself?
Like, we talked yesterday and you were playing Xbox for 7 hours at your house. Bro, get your ass up.
Yeah.
Be on the
cut
computer.
grass.
Go to a couple job interviews.
Yeah.
Like, at least show effort. Like, you want 1,000 spot? Nah, bro.
I got a stepson that's about to be 18. And let me tell you what, that little sucker grinds, hustles like no other kid.
I love seeing
seeing kids that do that. I love them.
When I tell you he is epic, every day I tell him, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, son. I want him to be successful, and he is going to nail it.
Dude, I want to do everything I can to
grind.
help those kids. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I want to make that a mission in my life to go identify those kids and be
whether
like,
it's
look, let's
pressure
go.
washing, somebody's house or their driveway, or cutting grass or washing a car. It's like every day he's doing something. That's somebody that wants to be better than they were yesterday.
Right.
Yep. We have a like a young 19-year-old that works part-time for us in like a weird way, but he was a kid in my neighborhood, and at 14, I was cutting my grass, and he's like, I cut grass, and I'm like, all right, you can cut my grass then. So I always cut my grass, but I was like, this kid wants to hustle and make a money. So I was like, yeah, you got it. Well, then he cut my grass for 4 years, all through high school. Well, he got out and he's got a job now, and he's like, Miss Chase, I can't cut your grass anymore because now I got a real job. I said, yeah, I understand, man. I got it. I'll take it back from you. Well, now he calls me and he knows that we do land development and flips and all this other stuff. And he's like, well, I work Monday through Friday, Mr. Chase, but can I come work for you Saturday and Sunday?
Gotta love it.
And I'm
man.
like,
yep.
I'm like,
love it.
Sure can, bud. Come on over.
I remember, back years ago. I mean, I sound like I'm old, but whatever. Years ago, I worked 6 days a week for some really nice people. They kind of raised me, to be honest. Gave me a job when nobody else would. And she always told me, she was a little hustler, and she always told me, she's like, nobody's going to give you anything. If you want it, hustle. Hustle, hustle. And I used to get so aggravated because I was younger and I really didn't understand what hustle meant. I'm like, what is hustle? Like, what are you talking about? And like every day she would tell me, you got to hustle, you got to hustle. And I'm like, damn, if you tell me one more time about hustle. Now I find myself telling the kids, you got to hustle, you got to hustle. And it's the little things that I was told and I didn't realize. Now I see myself doing it. But look, now that hustle is in me because of this lady instilling it. And I've seen all the nice things that she had, and I want it to be like that. But she hustled every day and worked 6 days a week right on side of me,
right.
So she can have those things. And I just kind of, fell in on side of her, and she put me.
You picked it up.
Dude, did I?
Yep. I love it. Ashley, this is a great episode.
Yep.
Man.
Turned it up. Turned it up.
Well, it is what it is. I'm just shooting it straight.
You got any things you do want to talk about in the future? What you got going on?
Nope.
All right. I like
Hustling in silence, baby. That's it.
When it happens,
You'll know.
You'll
right.
know.
That's right. Well, good. What I do want you to do, though, for our guest, even though that we're not talking about business, we're talking about mindset, but go ahead and plug yourself so that our viewers can look you up and what you do and a little bit about your backstory.
All right. They can hit me up on Facebook under Rockstar Buildings LLC. They can go on the website, rockstarbuildings.com. They can call me personally at 985-474-0268. Here I am.
And you have an alter ego on Facebook as well. What's her name? The Metal Boss?
The Metal Boss.
The Metal Boss.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, good. What you think, bro?
Nothing, man. I love doing the show because I love hearing all the commonalities between everybody that comes on here. And I feel like we're never going to run out of content. And I don't want the show to get stale is what I'm worried about, because everybody's saying, hey, how do you be successful? Go work for it. Like it's like a no-brainer, you know what I mean, at this point. But I love hearing how everybody has learned that lesson in a different way. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and they come to it different ways, and they perceive it different ways, and they manifest it in different ways. So it's got so many projections that we can ever possibly put out on the show. And that's why it's not going to stop.
Yeah. No, whenever we started the show, we talked about like what is a common theme that everybody that's successful has? They work.
Right.
Like they work for it. They work hard for it. Like I don't think you're gonna.
For you trust fund babies.
Yeah.
Y'all got money given to you.
I'm a little jealous.
Let's just say this, before we end, even the children that come from broken homes, that's not an excuse. I came from a broken home. I'll go back to that it's okay. You're going to hustle. Don't use that as a crutch, because use that as, a motivation,
Yeah.
That's right.
Look, some people might have to, I'm not saying that there aren't people that hustle harder than others either. Like some people have to, they're disadvantaged.
Right.
I mean, it just is what it is. Like they didn't grow up with mentors. They didn't grow up with the resources. They literally had to start from nothing.
Yeah.
Like no background, no motivation, no like mentorship, no upbringing, nothing. Those people got to hustle 10 times harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But the premise is the same. If you want success, you got to hustle.
Thoughts?
Hustle.
Got it.
Hustle makes it happen. That's
Peace.
it. You got anything?
No, I'm good, man.
All right, man. We'll close it out. That's it. That's another episode of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. Remember, until next time, keep your head down, keep your eye on the ball. Hustle makes it happen, but most importantly, have fun.